What do you think it says about you guys that all three of you representatives here are high school guys that have developed within this program?
It feels good just knowing that how far all of us came from me, Darius, Josh, even though we all came in at different times. But just knowing that we believed in the process with Coach Norvell, with Coach Storms, and Jaden with the nutrition, and it just knowing that all you have to do is just put your mind to it and believe in the process, and it'll happen.
How have you grown in your time at FSU, both on the field and off the field?
Really, the biggest thing when I think leaving here, when I leave here, is going to be how I became a man. Like coming from Miami, like I was a little ahead of the game, but I was still young, still learning, still really ain't know about nothing for real. Coach Norvell really installed into all of that. You have to be just as great off the field than you have to be on the field. Because once you take care of the off the field stuff, the on the field stuff is easy. Like everything matters, homework, treatment, how you treat people, how you talk to people. Even if you see somebody on the street and you don't know them, but just say, hey, how you doing? Ask them, like stuff like that I didn't do coming out of high school. That's something Coach Norvell that I love that he installed in me. That's something, like if I have kids one day, I'll install it to them too.
Was there another player that you saw act like that too, that you kind of took some advice from or watched their experiences?
The main player was really Jordan Travis, because just knowing how Jordan Travis treated everybody, he knew he was like he was at the top of the food chain, but it's like he was the best guy in the room. He was probably the best player on the team, but he never acted like that. You see him, he never wanted all the media attention all for himself. He never wanted. He always wanted to make sure his teammates was good. That's one person who I definitely got that from for sure.
Defensive line obviously replaced multiple guys that went pro last year. What's your expectations for the group, both individually speaking and as a whole?
Just to keep the train going, because we done got a good train started with since I've been here, Jermaine and Verse and Fist and all the other guys who still up there trying to fight for a position. But just knowing that it's possible, because like the guys that you were just in the room with, guys you were just practicing with, just doing drills with, just talking ball with in the meeting rooms, knowing that them guys is up where you want to be at right now, it's just motivation. Every time I see a video of Fist or Verse or Fable on the NFL pages, it just make my heart smile. I love them boys and I pray for them boys.
How beneficial was it for you to live and learn behind those guys?
It was just knowing that you have to wait your turn. You can't just, like, everybody has a different path. Everybody has a different time where they going to become this or become that. You never, when I first got here, my main thing was waiting my turn, just learning, listening, watching. And then when I become it, it's like when I become where I'm at right now, it's not new to me. It's just, I've been waiting for this for a long time. That's all it is for me.
How would you describe your leadership style? How are you as a leader?
I feel like I'm more of everybody knows, like I'm more of a just like an action type of guy. I just get out there on the field and try to make as many plays as I can for the team. Like, I say something to the guys, but I'm more on the unvocal side. But this year I'll be a little bit more vocal, talking to the guys a little more, because I know they're gonna be looking for that from me. But I'm really an on the field type of guy, action type of guy.
Does that just come with maturing?
Yes, now, it comes with maturing. Now you have to speak and talk, because there's guys who wish, like on our team, who are praying to be where I'm at in they next year or they next 2 years. Like I know I'm motivation to all the young boys back in Tallahassee right now, and just knowing them. I got them boys this year, and I know they're looking for me to be the leader, and I'm going to do whatever I can just to make sure I do that.
They updated, I know, the weight the other day. So like you kept most of the weight you added in the spring on. I guess how, of course, the spring, how did that affect you? And I guess what does that added weight do for you coming into this season as a player?
It do a lot for me, just knowing that with the weight, and then I got a little stronger when it came to the weight room. It really helped, because it's going to help this year, because last year it was some moments where you could tell that I was a little light, but I feel like with the weight, it's gonna help me because I kept my speed too. So it's gonna just be an extra punch for a lineman or like somebody who I go against now. That's what it really is to me.
When you exited last season, what was it you wanted to work on? What is it you wanted to get better at? How did you go about doing that?
I feel like playing more consistent and getting more bigger and stronger because, like, that's one thing about Verse and Fish that I always admire because, you know, back then they probably was on the lesser talented side, but them boys had a motor and a want to that, like, nobody could block them and how fast they played, how they chased the ball every play. That's one thing I really want to add to my game this year, that I'm going to add to my game this year, really just playing with that non-stop consistent motor because that's what people want to see out of me.
Does that come down to like endurance, like trying to get in shape or stay in shape? Like what do you do physically to keep that motor going with you?
It's really just a mind thing because, like, if you put your mind to it, you can do it. Like, if you're going to tell yourself you're tired, then you're going to be tired. You're going to tell yourself you could go another 3 plays, you're going to go another 3 plays. Even when because there's going to be moments in the game or in the season or a game tying moment where you have to make a play, you're tired. That's why we do stuff like tour duty, the summer condition, because it's going to be uncomfortable at some point during the season. Like, your body going to feel a certain way, and you just going to have to find a way to push that, and it's really with your mind. You got to push through it.
You've gone up against the FCC line probably more than anyone the last 4 years. I mean, over your time, what's it been like seeing what that group has become from kind of what it was when you got here in terms of how successful they are?
It's great because when I first got here, the guys got bashed and said they was this and said that was that. Well, them boys was trying to get better and just got into the new system, was working with Atkins. But it's great for watching guys like Darius, JB, Mo, guys like that who just never start working, never start trying, and now them boys, the guys going to be good this year for, especially Darius.
Farmer was talking about how pissed off last year made him and the team, and the playoff is a certainty for you guys. Man, how much confidence do you have that the playoff is a certainty, and how much of the anger of last year is going to fuel that?
I mean, you have to like last year it's going to be last year. You feel me? Like we can't control that no more.
You can't carry it? Is that going to weigh on you?
Like, it's a weight, but at the same time, this is 2024 team. Like, God knows a whole bunch of guys on this team that want to make a name for themselves. They don't want to be remembered like for the last year. But I feel like it's going to be a good burden on our shoulder to carry. We definitely going to take that.
You said you were more of a go out and play guy than a leadership. Is there a leader on defense? I would assume Shaheem because he talks so much.
Yeah.
Is there another guy besides him, or do you think he's the main leader on defense?
Him and DJ Lundy, and I feel like Kevin knows them are good 3 guys who probably like the most vocal, especially DJ Lundy and Shaheem, because they have to do a lot of talking. Playing their position, safety, linebacker, they got to make sure everything right, D-line, linebackers, corner. But those 3 guys, I feel like the most like vocal leaders when it comes to our defense. Those 3 guys.
And with Marvin coming in, like, what did you expect of him before you saw him? And did he exceed expectations? What did you like out of his game that you saw in the spring, and then obviously after that?
One thing that people going to find out a lot right now about Marvin, he's an athletic freak. Like, he's very athletic. He's 6'5", 260, and I believe he might crack a 4.4 one day. How fast he is, how his acceleration is. He's very like me and him have similar play style. Like, we basically like play the same, but I feel like he's a little bit bigger, a little faster. But that's one thing you guys want to see a lot from him. And he's very tough. He knows what type of player he got to be this year. And Coach Odell's been on him, and he's going to be a great player for this team this year.
Coach Norvell talked about the edge group being as deep as it's been in his time there, which coincides with your time there. You agree with that statement? And how much does that help? Does that allow you kind of max out how hard you play, knowing there's a guy behind you who can step in if needed?
It feels great just knowing that you got guys who behind you who they want to come in and play at just as high level as you. They want to make plays just as high level as you, and that we all happy for each other because, you know, we got like Newsy, then you got Byron, even Aaron Hester coming along, Dante Anderson, you feel me? I feel like the guys we just as happy for each other, and we competing at the same time. So that's what I feel like the great thing about our defensive line this year.
What element does Newsy add to the room? He's obviously built a little different than most of you guys.
Newsy I feel like he's going to be great great when it comes to having leverage against O-linemen. He's a little shorter guy, but he pack a punch. He's very strong, and he'll sneak up on you with his pass rush move. And he's been working very hard this summer, and he's gonna be a great guy too for this team.
Who's a first-year starter for this team that doesn't get a lot of love now, but maybe come postseason and be on an ACC team?
I'll say, I would say Daryl Jackson, and I feel like Shaheem Brown don't get a lot of the love that he deserves, especially Shaheem, because he do so much of the dirty work, and people don't really realize it because, he plays safety and stuff like that. He do special teams. He never said no. He played every special team. He made sure all the teams great. And also Daryl Jackson, because nobody really didn't see him play in about 2 years, but we've seen him grind every day, work every day, the same way we work with Coach Odell. And he never it was some days it was so tough on him, hard on him, but he stayed working. He still practiced every day like he was playing. But Daryl Johnson gonna be a monster for us too this year.
When you're working beside Daryl, what stands out about him? What grabs your attention in those practice moments with him?
How big they both is. It's just him and Josh, they just so big. It's crazy. Like, I feel like there's nobody in the country should be able to run up them two guys because how? Like, with Daryl in, he's moving better. He's faster than he ever been. He look way more athletic than he ever been. And his technique is improving with Coach Odell every day.
You and Josh came in together, right? Am I remembering that right?
Yes.
I guess y'all both gone through pretty crazy transformations to become very impactful players. I guess how much is this something when y'all were recruits or when y'all got here? Is this something you've talked about? I guess what's it been like seeing this become what it's become?
Man, I remember days in freshman year where, like, how we have our practices, our developmental practices on Sundays. There were days when me and Josh was crying and like just praying, wishing that we was gonna get on the field one day, just knowing how far we came. And I've been with him since we got here. We've been rocking with each other since we got here, and we're going to finish it off the right way.
How vital has Coach Storms been to your development? Just what does he do with you guys that maybe doesn't get the shine it deserves?
He does it the right way, as in he don't just try to force anything on you. He makes sure you're doing your right way. Make sure you're doing your right nutrition. He don't have the same plan for everybody. It's different guys, your strengths, your weaknesses, and Coach Storms have been very, very helpful in this transformation, especially with conditioning, running, and just becoming a man too, because Coach Storms is a very great man, and I love Coach Storms forever for what he did for me.